Hi everyone, welcome. Today we're going to take a look at how to add a class notebook to your teams and teams. So go to your team that you want to create a class notebook in. In this case, I'm in practice 2. And you can see I don't have anything, so it really shows up as even my chats are blank. I'm going to go here to the class notebook tab at the top, right up here. It's going to take a second. So one thing I found last semester when doing this, I just gave kids assignments and everything was kind of broken up and there wasn't any kind of continuity for kids to see their learning over time, which was okay last semester, but this semester I kind of want to change that. The way I'm going to do it is through a class notebook. So set up a one class notebook, and I'm going to say a blank notebook because I don't have one to pull it from. So this is going to explain, this first screen explains the different parts of the notebook. The collaboration space, everyone has it, and anything that's put in there can be edited and modified by students and teachers. Anyone in the class can do that to any, so it's one shared page across the entire class. So what you put in there is something where you really want it to be kind of freewheeling kind of a thing going on. The next section of the notebook created is called content library. Anything in the content library is only editable by the teacher and the students can only view it. So this part is where you'd put something where you don't want kids to do anything to it or change stuff. So I put in here a class syllabus, policies, maybe safety contracts, things where you don't want kids editing over the top of. Okay. So the teacher only section, this is a section that the students don't even see. So they can't see it, change it, anything. This is where you're going to build the course and build pages and then distribute to them once they're built. So this is sort of your private notebook. And the last one are student notebooks. Every student gets a notebook. In their notebooks, they're going to all have the exact same collaboration space and the exact content library. So anything that's put in either of these two spaces, every student will see. Okay. In this collaboration space, every student will be able to edit. So that's the difference between those. Student notebooks, you have the ability to edit their pages in their notebooks. You can add pages to their notebooks. This is where you can even add assignments. So you could put a page in there that has a bunch of questions and the kids click to their notebook and they answer the questions and submit that page for grading. So there's lots of power in the student notebook. One of the really nice things is in the notebook, once they submit something for a grade and you grade it and push it back out, it goes right back into their notebook. So it all stays organized and coherent in there. Now, my advice to you if this is the first time you've used notebooks is to get rid of all this nonsense. I wouldn't have all these extra sections unless you really know exactly what you're going to put into each section. I would just keep it organized as you go along by just adding the sections that you find useful. So for me, for example, I'm going to add a unit section at every unit and then have 10 or 15 pages in that unit section as we go through the unit. I'll add those pages as we go along. So adding sections is easy. Taking them away is much harder. So my advice to you is delete them all to start with, add them as you go. So I'm going to create that notebook. It'll take a minute or two for it to create the notebook and populate in everybody's class. And once that's done, it's pretty quick afterwards. It takes a few seconds to get into it each time. So we'll just wait for the class notebook. I'm recording these in Screencastify, so I can't really speed up time in the middle of a recording. Okay, so here we go. So the first confusing thing about using the notebook to tell kids is that all the structure of the notebook is over here behind this caret. So to see all the structure, you've got to click right up here, and now you can see the notebook. So what the kids will see, this welcome splash screen is the first page everyone sees. You can actually change this as the teacher. So I could make this a splash page for my physics class or my whatever class I'm teaching. That makes more sense to have it that way. Then everyone will have a collaboration space and everything in that will be the same. Everyone will have a content library. Again, everything in there is the same for every student. And then once you have students added to your class, which I don't have any students in here, I apologize for that. You'll have their names listed here. Boom, boom, boom. And in there, you can start adding pages to do stuff. We'll talk about that later, but that is the basics of building a class notebook in Teams.